Throughout his tenure as president, Donald Trump has made a lot of waves all throughout the media and amongst these liberal leftist extremist groups such as Black Lives Matter, Antifa, feminazis, and even the LGBTQ plus the alphabet mafia. And the reason why he was getting attacked by all these different parties involved is because of the fact that he, as a man, had a backbone and he was not willing to kowtow, bend over, or meet the insane demands of these nut jobs. And as a result, those very same people and others within, the management did not like him and hate him with a passion. But amongst the masses, being the silent majority, they loved him for it. Every minute of it, and they cheered and they gave him all types of praise. And the reason why is because I believe that out of all the presidents, Donald Trump by far is the most honest. All right. Unlike others in the past, he didn't really read much from a script. He pretty much says how he feels. He talked, acted, and even behaved and connected with the audience, right? And there was that symbiotic relationship, especially in regards to the 8 years under Obama. And with that whole administration, they were pretty much trying to soften and feminize America, like we're seeing right now. That's being continued with the current Biden administration, right? But that's the thing. Um, that's the thing about with Donald Trump. It's amazing how he makes, controversial statements, which all presidents have made. But it's different with him because of the fact that, again, he hasn't pulled no punches, right? Now, there was an example at a rally he had. He pointed out a black man and he pretty much said that this right here is my African American friend. Right? And I'm somewhat paraphrasing, but I remember him making that statement. Understand the gist of it. And I got to admit, he was getting attacked for that statement, and also other statements. I mean, he was getting attacked the same way the average black man gets attacked when he's dealing with baby mama drama, right? I mean, he couldn't find any peace, man, or rest. But he took it like a champ, that's for sure. He kept going forward, and he didn't pay those people pretty much any mind. All right. But despite all that, with all these constant attacks on him, I mean, look, I don't have no personal problem with it because I don't really have no dog in the race. But here's my thing: if you're going to attack Donald Trump for any of all the statements that he has made throughout his presidency, then that same level of anger and vitriol should be directed towards our current president, Joe Biden, as well. All right, because let's be for real. Throughout the 40 plus years that Joe Biden himself has been involved in politics, he himself has made many controversial statements, at best, particularly racial comments. Like, for example, here, when he made a guest appearance on The Breakfast Club, being hosted by, yours truly, Charlamagne the God. And during that interview, he made that infamous statement heard around the world, right? And for some reason, there was not that same level of anger or vitriol directed towards Joe Biden as it is directed towards Donald Trump. Makes you wonder why. But then again, that within itself is a hypothetical question because I know the reason why. It's because Joe Biden was not Donald Trump, which is why over 80 or 90% of those within the black community, amongst our people and some others, voted for him because of that. But now they're realizing that Joe Biden is actually worse than Donald Trump, right? Because we looked at Trump as a potential racist, but we actually voted in an actual racist with Sleepy Joe, Creepy Joe. and now as a result, we're paying for it, right? But anyway, I just wanted to just go ahead and delve into this video right here, and give my commentary and 2 cents as usual. Let's get it.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for.
You see that? As soon as he made that statement, he got his lean back, he got a big old grin on his face. You want to see how Charlamagne will react to that? And I'm sure there are many people who were disappointed, man, because he didn't even say anything to him. He didn't check him or correct him or nothing like that. He basically just ignored it, right? But then I guarantee you, had it been Trump or any other Republican on this show, I'm pretty sure he would have actually had something to say immediately, or he would have. He would have clapped back immediately, right? I know, but because he's a Democrat, he's one of our allies. You got to take it easy on him, right? Okay, but I'm pretty sure in the back of Charlamagne's mind, even though he didn't really say anything, I'm sure despite with that comment, he didn't. He kind of lost faith, honestly, and some respect for Joe Biden because of that, and as a result, I'm pretty sure he didn't vote for him at all. He probably voted for Trump himself, allegedly.
My community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run.
That's a lie, right? So I remember seeing in a YouTube video titled 47 Years of Joe Biden's Racist Comments that, both the original and the updated version, right? I'm pretty sure that, I think there was like another one like it. I don't know if it's on YouTube again or not, but they probably got rid of it. But pretty much within those videos, this same clip right here showed up, right? And I remember seeing, particularly around this part where he talked about how the NAACP endorsed him, as he said, as he claimed it. Yet it jumped right to the website and pretty much showed that the NAACP does not endorse candidates. So that's a lie on Joe's part. And in addition, he also lied about this claim that he marched in the civil rights marches during that time period, which was also unfounded and untrue. All right. So Joe's been lying for the past 40 plus years, man. So you can't really take this guy seriously. All right. This is the same guy who, for the most part, doesn't even remember his own name half the time. And he also forgot his wife's name, too. All right. The man's too old, man. Come on. Joe Biden, at this point, should pretty much just be given his ice cream, his medicine, his milk and magnesium, and be having him sent off to bed somewhere, man. To get getting a big old nap.
Come on. Take a look at the record.
I've been critical of you. I have a few things I want to talk to you about.
I know you have. Yeah. You don't know me.
No, I don't. That's why I want to get to know you today. I want to talk to you about mostly black stuff.
I get overwhelming support from the black leadership, young and old. Every poll shows me way ahead.
And black people.
Yeah, they showing you the poll way ahead, man. Way ahead down. Sinking precipitously. Okay, right. And I agree at first. When there was definitely support amongst the black leadership, young and old at first, especially like back in the day when you were the ones who crafted that 1994 crime bill under Bill Clinton. You had support from the Congressional Black Caucus, if I remember correctly. So there's that, and of course you had support, recently, like around the 2020, election. How of course you were voted in by like over 80 or 90% of those within the black community because they thought you were better than Trump and they wanted someone other than him. But within less than a year to a year now, we're pretty much seeing uh we ain't really seeing much progress, man. In fact, things have gotten a lot worse under the Joe Biden slash Kamala Harris administration, man. And that's why I remember even Barack Obama himself said, from what I've found and what I read, that and heard, that you can never underestimate, or you can count on Joe Biden to pretty much f things up, and he has done that big time. That's why I gotta say, man, do not be surprised when the 2024 election comes around the corner. How many of these black voters who were once, you know, all blue, vote blue, no matter who, get your booties to the polls, right? No voting, no, yeah, that part. Those very same people who have that mindset, don't be surprised if one or two things happen. They either show up to the polls and pretty much go left on them, no pun intended. They pretty much go and vote for the other side, the Republican Party, or they pretty much just sit home, sit the whole thing out, and then just have their annual cookout. Now, personally, I'd rather see the latter happen. You know, even though I kind of jokingly joke about having the cookout, but on a more serious note, it'll be good to sit this whole thing out, honestly, because it gives you a chance to say, you know what, neither party really cares for us, so I think it's about time we have our own political party. Now, I don't know if that can never truly happen or not, but hey, you know, now obviously it's going to take time for that to happen. But hey, if you're dedicated, you put in that time, you put in that work, you put in that energy, you never know what can happen. But that would be a good. I mean, but that would be good because neither side, Republican or Democrat, particularly Democrat, will no longer take the black vote for granted, and that they have to literally look at it more seriously and bring something to the table, as opposed to just tangibles and tokens, right? Tokenism. And as a result of that, they will respect you a lot more.
Who saved your political life in the primaries this year? They have things they want from you, and one of them is a black woman running mate. What do you say to them?
What I say to them is that I'm not acknowledging anybody who is being considered, but I guarantee you there are multiple black women being considered. We've seen.
And out of all those multiple black women that were being considered, you chosen one who's not even a black woman herself. All right, in the form of Kamala Harris. All right, because everybody knows that her mother is Indian, man. I mean, like Indian, like with the dot on her head, that Indian. All right, and on the father's side, he was Jamaican or West Indian. All right, and on that side of the family, there is definitely ties to slavery. All right, so so you definitely can't trust her nor Joe Biden to lead you to the promised land. The only thing you can definitely guarantee is that they can lead you back into chains again. That's for sure. They can definitely lead you back into slavery. All right, if they wanted to. But then again, I mean, for the most part, the Democrat plantation is pretty much slavery within itself. All right, so you know.
It more clearly now. In a black majority county, they're 6 times more likely to die in a pandemic than a white county. They're disproportionately uninsured in the African.
Let me say this too before I forget too. Regards to Kamala Harris, for those who remember back in the 2016 elections when he had on television, how he had a whole Democrats pretty much talking, pretty much not talking things that were pretty much trying to give their side, talking over one another and all that. Tulsi Gabbard was the one person who pretty much called out Kamala Harris and her history, right? I think as an attorney and in politics, because there was a black man who was on death row that she had, right? She was responsible for that. But I think there was innocence in regards to that man. How he had there was evidence that he had him, you know, innocent, and he was looking to get off from death row, but Kamala Harris kept him on there, despite the man being innocent, which was until she was forced to let that man go. So for the most part, hey, if there's one person who's doing it even worse than Joe Biden in regards to not just the polls but unpopularity, is Kamala Harris herself. that's why that's why these two are a match made in hell for one another.
American community disproportionately make up the essential jobs that they can't do at home. They're risking their lives every day. Enough's enough.
What's
I agree with that, Joe. Enough is enough in regards to those talking points you made, right? Within a black county, they're 6 times more likely to die in a pandemic than a white county. In regards to making up essential jobs they can't do at home, being uninsured, things of that nature. All the things should tell you something. They should tell you the solution is very simple. That you have to stop. More black voters need to stop voting Democrat. Honestly, that's the solution, man. All right, because I mean, let's be all throughout, man. They ain't gonna give you any real tangible solution. It's gonna just keep giving you tokenism, man. Again, like I mentioned. All right, and for the most part, that's not going to change anytime soon. So you know what? So instead of waiting them to make the change, you make the change. All right, that's what you need to do.
something that you always carry with you?
Hot
Just-
sauce.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Are you getting information right now?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in my bag, swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I
yes.
just want you to know people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay. Is it working?
Wow. Dang, she wasn't even trying to hide that woman. And I gotta tell you, man, that whole hot sauce thing, that was not only wrong, man, but that was just cringeworthy. All right. And on top of that, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, I think Joe Biden, I think AOC and some others. I remember seeing clips of them all conversing with black people and talking slang, right? They're trying to talk just like us, which is just a way of pandering to us, which is what it is. The reason why, and not only is it pandering, but it's insulting because it makes it appear as though, all black people don't know how to speak properly, as opposed to just using ebonics. They don't know how to speak proper English, sound professional, sound articulate, things of that nature. And that's racist within itself, man. All right. So this goes to show you that the big takeaway from this is, if you're going to call out one side, they need to call out the other side too, because at the end of the day, they're both corrupt. All right. So that's my time, and I'm out. Peace.